hear you.
I want try. Yeah. You got the smile to make me happy.
There we go.
Okay.
Just check it real quick here. Check it on the internet.
Should be piping hot.
Oh, yeah. Hot stream.
Have you noticed we haven't had any problems since we got here?
Any problem?
With internet problems? Like
There was like just the one time that but that was probably just like a outage or something. You know,
Okay.
that happens to me at my place. Even.
Okay.
I mean, come on.
but it's better than Brooklyn.
Oh,
right?
so much better.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, good.
Yeah, we're streaming high definition now.
Ooh.
Okay, we're live.
We're live, everybody. We're live. Flat Cat, I actually checked Twitter earlier today, and she was concerned. What time is it? Like 1?
It is what time is it? Good question. 1:07.
All right, so I
Yeah,
said
you told
around
her
1
one.
o'clock,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's good. So, hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Brian McCarthy. If you're watching on Facebook, welcome. Questions, comments to my center of my vision, or what would be my vision, is Adam there.
Yeah.
Adam came in, and when he came in, I was showering.
I came in kind of covertly almost.
You did. I came out.
Through the ceiling vent.
Came out,
through
I
the
dropped-
HVAC system.
I came out like the copper top girl. I
You
dropped my
did.
finger. I said, "Oh no, I have a
Oh,
sunburn."
the copper tone girl?
Copper tone. Is that what
Okay.
it is?
Yeah.
Copper top would be if you had a Duracell,
Duracell battery, which you
in my urethra.
which you may have.
That'd be
you may
better.
have had.
Come out with a battery in my dick hole.
Mhm.
Speaking of dick hole, boy, I'm so glad my
Speaking of
wife is
dick
here,
hole.
but my children are not
Oh,
here.
okay.
And I'm so glad because I'm 99% sure that my daughter can hear everything in the show through.
Oh yeah, I've been concerned about that.
Well, she's in class, and I think she doesn't wear headphones. I don't know. I can't worry about it too much.
Yeah.
And she's not home every Friday, and hopefully, hopefully things will slowly get back to normal. But it was but they're not here, so shit, piss, cunt,
Yeah,
cunt,
sure.
cunt.
All of them.
I was going to say an N-word, but you know what?
Yeah, maybe
I'll get to that later.
Yeah.
That was plenty of time for that.
that could be your encore.
Yeah, plenty of time. Yeah, it's like my free bird. Where are you going? Your little adjustment? In case you're wondering, I'm sorry, Jessica, that I'm not wearing underwear. I'm wearing my Darth Vader. This is my Darth Vader onesie that I love, but I laundered it, so it's a little snug.
Yeah, it is.
But I don't mind. Because I usually wear this on Christmas morning, and I wear this all day Christmas, as I would progressively get drunker and drunker.
Oh,
and
boy.
just end up having to have a neighbor put me to bed.
I should imagine you having like a fight with your wife.
You haven't. Oh, don't you want to? Don't imagine. Don't have to imagine that one.
I know it's happened.
Yeah, white spittle in the corner of my mouth.
Yeah, just
right.
exactly.
Maybe you're the one that's drunk. Maybe you. No. No one. I'm fine.
Fucking fine. Don't fucking tell me.
Oh,
A lot of
God.
talking through the teeth. Don't you fucking tell me what the fuck was.
Drunkenly grabbing a
Right,
pillow.
right.
I'm gonna sleep in my own bed tonight. God. Bag of shit. Worthless bag of shit. But no, so I'm wearing this because here in New York City it is quite frigid.
Ooh.
And I know we've mentioned on many shows since the McCarthys have decamped for Manhattan town. We live way on the west side.
Lost a couple of them to typhoid.
Yeah, we did.
They
on the
decamped to Manhattanville.
right. Jebediah, 11 years young.
Jebediah McCarthy.
Right, Jebediah McCarthy. We
Died of jaundice.
yeah. There was a schooner of tangerines coming in from the West Indies, but it hit us slow
Yeah.
in the Hudson Valley riverbank. So we all died of 3 of the children died of scurvy. But yeah, it's really funny because I know I've recommended. We have a lot of stuff to get to, but I've recommended this show before. Did you ever watch The Nick on Cinemax?
I think I tried
Oh, didn't get
an
into it?
episode, and I don't know. I just never quite locked in.
Okay.
Never quite locked in.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But I really love it. Every episode is directed by Steven Soderbergh, you know, big time, blah, blah, blah. And Clive Owen is in it. And it follows, it's about the Knickerbocker, which is a hospital in 1900 New York. And Clive Owen is a cocaine-addicted, brilliant surgeon. And I would say this: if you get a paper cut in 1900, don't go to the hospital. Literally, they're
Just
like,
die at home with dignity.
yeah. People come in and people come in with like they're like, I've been urinating blood and I believe in entrails for a fortnight. And the doctors like examine him and they go and they're like, give him a tablespoon of turpentine every 2 hours and wrap his neck with a cold rag. I'm like, I could be. The only thing I like about it is if there was a time machine and I went back 121 years, I could be any. I could be any job. I could be a doctor.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, I could be
a lawyer.
like
in an afternoon. Like if you did a good sweep of the resources that were out there, you could do the job.
His bones are sick. Let's put him in a bath of. They're always making pumices. I don't even know what a pumice is.
Oh, like a pumice, like the sandy kind of.
No, that's not right. I'm not using the right word then. What do they make it like you wrap it around your neck like a P. Starts with a P though. I want to say it's pumice, but it's like they would take to reduce swelling. It's like a rag, and they would like infuse it with like a cocaine water soap.
My kind of pumice.
Yeah.
We're talking
table for two.
Pumi.
Yeah, something by the window, please.
Yes.
But they're always worried about like soaking your neck. So anyway,
a lot of that, a lot of trying to stop the inflammation.
A lot of neck soaking, but they had opium. They had lots of opium dens back then, and there's one black doctor named Dr. Edward. No one thrilled when he would walk in the room. And one guy, I won't say, a lot of it's incredibly racist, and which is
back then.
But one guy, he walks into one guy to do, and he's brilliant. The thing is, he studied in London and he studied in Paris, and he wrote all these papers, and he had a benefactor, like one of these wealthy robber baron families in New York, that sponsored the hospital, and they brought him in under protest from the cocaine addicted guy Clive Owen, and they said they made him they said, look, you've got to make him a doctor here because we're paying for everything. And like the poor guy would like come into an operating room and some guy be dying on a table and he'd be like, I didn't want a shoe shine.
Right.
Like, every time.
No fucking respect.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
The
right. And they would just liberal use of the word, of our
coloreds do surgery over there.
Oh yeah, but exactly.
It's like a different table.
I'm not at a black hospital. Right. There used to be black hospitals.
I guess there must have been separate everything, right? When things were segregated. I never really thought about that.
But you'd know where to go though. Back in those days, you'd know.
Right. To be a special place.
Yes, mother,
it'd be quite a predicament.
Mother, I'm going out for some ham steak. Right. All of a sudden, you're on the other side of the tracks.
I never thought about that. My life would be a lot more complicated.
You know what? I haven't thought about you in general, but I've thought about if you were someone and that was your thing, you would have to live, I think, in New Orleans. And there'd have to be like one street in New Orleans you lived
right.
on.
We could go to the diner once a month.
And you couldn't, but I mean, in order to live, because they could be like, you could wear a place where they did intermarriage. Another place where you could probably live would be like Paris.
Oh yeah, Europe.
Nah,
I think would be...
not Europe. I think
no,
I don't think you could live in like Stuttgart
or like maybe the UK. I just remember all of the old kind of like stacks, like the Southern artists and stuff. They watching documentaries. They said they loved to go to the UK because it was like they could be like people. I think regular people.
I think they were just a little. They were a little better than us. And what I do think is, I think they were just. They were too polite. I think America.
Maybe they were too right.
We let it hang out.
Well, but I think the thing too with that is they really got into the music. These are also celebrities I'm talking about too, so that's different.
Right.
But I don't know about your average person.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
It's funny because I watched that. It's probably that idiot, right?
I saw one said potential spam. Do you get a lot of those? I get.
I wish I could give. I'm a little hungry. I wish I had some potential spam
fucking
coming right now.
Maybe a little bit of poi
on a plate.
Fucking
white bread sandwich. Yeah. I have had spam. I haven't eaten it in.
I don't know that I've ever tried it.
You know, it's funny because Paul Dinnan, my dear friend Paul, when he lived in Korea and now he's in Puerto Rico, but he said that in Korea, spam, because of the U.S. armies, being there for so long, and we invented spam as a way to have meat in World War II. Spam is number one. It's hugely popular in Hawaii,
Yeah.
and Polynesia, and basically all over Asia, because we would send it over, and we would just spam with like an American export, and so he said, like, when you are like around Christmas time, people give each other these giant baskets, these big beautiful baskets of spam. Like
Big,
cans
beautiful
of
baskets.
Oh yeah, like he said they're beautiful. Like they have
Right.
spam towers,
Sure.
and they have like chrysanthemum and I don't know, like
Ooh.
various, right, and GI chocolates in them. I don't think they're GI chocolates.
Spam truffles.
Yeah, spam. But he said
Just
he
everything.
bought a couple of them. He said it was like what you would do, like you would go to people's, if you really wanted to kiss your boss's ass, you'd drop like 500 whatever they consider money over there, pig ears or whatever.
I thought the currency was spam.
No,
I'm not sure how you would buy spam.
I'm sure you could probably trade spam
Sure.
for services,
Right.
Probably.
Yeah,
but
you could barter.
it's not an actual like unit of currency, but anyway. But I did want to, and I want to pick your brain on this, and this is such a delicate topic. Oh, number one, but I don't want to forget this. This is pretty funny. So as everybody
about
knows,
my issues with my father. You want to talk about?
do you have issues with your
No, I'm
dad?
just kidding. What? No, I'm
Do
just
you?
trying to think of something that would be delicate, like.
Well, that could be delicate.
Oh no, that's what I mean. Potentially, not with me, but I just.
Do you wish your father was dead?
just maimed? No,
Just
no. My dad's a good guy.
You guys hang out.
Yeah,
You
I
ever
just
call-
use that as a random.
I know. I'm
Yeah,
having
yeah.
fun with it. Jesus, we're not really firing on all cylinders today.
No, I think we're doing fine. I
All
don't know.
right.
We're not on the same page.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, let me get out a coloring book. Whoa. Cunty podcast fight.
It's okay.
No, I'm just kidding. No, but I'm saying what I was going to say was I got a vasectomy
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, whatever it was, 15 days ago. And and I had my checkup last Wednesday, and everything's fine. Although I will say, I talked to my friend Matt, who kind of encouraged me to get this. Not encouraged me, but he's a guy that I like. He's very much, and I trust. And he got one of these vasectomies a few years ago, and he was like, it was no big deal, blah blah blah. And then I talked to another friend of mine who was like, one of my balls swelled up to the size
Oh
of a
boy.
grapefruit.
Mixed reviews.
I had to have it lanced, and I was like, ooh,
Oh,
Jesus.
no,
But I
no.
decided I'm so bored because of COVID, I want to have elective surgery on my penis. So I just did it, and now I feel great. There, I tell you one thing: there's nothing better than having your penis feel bad, and then having that.
Oh yeah,
that
I would
feels
imagine.
bad,
Right.
but then having it feel better, you
Sure.
can really appreciate when it doesn't feel badly. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah. No. 100%. 100%.
Because about a week ago today, it was rough. And then literally, like, when this past Monday, I was like, oh, it's starting to feel remarkably better. Even though, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but my doctor prescribed me OxyContin. Did I tell you that?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah. And so, but I didn't really need it. It was fine. Although, so because I think I told you, I went running around 2 days later, and my dick was like black and blue, and it was all banged up.
Okay.
It was funny too because I saw my doctor this past Wednesday and got a checkup, and he looked at it, and he was like, "Yeah, there's some discoloration. You don't want to hear that."
Yeah. No.
Unless it was
not with your
already
genitals,
discolored.
Right?
Yeah. Unless it was already discolored, then you don't want to hear like,
Right.
"Oh, what happened to your discoloration?" You're
Oh,
like,
no.
"I don't know."
Yeah. Oh, the discoloration's clearing up nicely.
I don't. It was never discolored.
Right.
It was never discolored, the officer. This is quite a
What
predicament.
color is this?
Yeah, this is a. If it ain't dick colored, I don't want to know.
Wow. Discoloration.
Well, because it was bruised, because I put on like regular jeans and shorts, and I mean real regular underwear. I took off my G-string thing and my jock strap, and I just went out into town just with Jocelyn without a care in the world. And I banged up my dick pretty badly.
Wow. Oh, so you were supposed to leave it in that gauze
Or at the
G-string.
very least, take it easy for a couple of days.
Sure.
And so I went out and I showed it to Jocelyn the next day, and I was like, "This hurts more than it did on Saturday." And she looked at it and she was like, "No, whoa."
Whoa.
She's like, "Let's get you in the. Why don't you just get some frozen corn. And by the way, we're having.
Okay,
Would you like
by
some
the way,
corn
yes,
chowder
sure.
before you leave?
Sure.
Don't want to waste it.
Whoa.
And
It smells like taint.
yeah, right. This ain't the soup I want to eat. Oh boy. But anyway, but it's the kind of thing where I. So then that was the day. So then Monday, Tuesday, but then this past Wednesday, I went in, and it was funny because the doctor was like, "Yeah, it looks some bruising." He's like, "It's healing up." Because, well, what happened? And I said, "Well, the next day I went horseback riding." he was like, "What?" I said, "No."
Oh, yeah, you did tell me that.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
really
yeah.
believed it.
Oh yeah, he believed. Yeah,
Oh, my
but
God,
then it
that's
was great.
funny.
So he gave me a little inspection. Well, a big inspection.
Ooh.
He had to really
I
get
hope
in
you
there.
tipped him. Am I
And
right?
and I asked him. I said, "Well, because I still have stitches. I just felt them in the shower, but." With the stitches, I said, "Are they going to have to be pulled out? They fall out?" He goes, "No, they'll just fall out. Don't worry." He goes, "Everything looks fine." And then I leave, and he leaves, and then he comes back a second later as I'm pulling my pants up, and he goes, I forgot to tell you this." He goes, "You were really funny when we did your
Okay.
when we did your procedure." And number one, I was like, "What?
Whoa.
Stop,
Not
dude.
me. Who,
Go
me?
on, go on." Well, I did do some summer stock.
Yeah, sure.
But I said, "Well, what do you mean?" He goes, "We got you in, and we laid you down, and we gave you the Profanol or whatever it's called, and he knew what it was called, but he said we laid you down." He goes, "While we were doing the procedure, you were out, but you were talking while you were out." And he said, "You kept saying over and over again, 'Make sure you fellows don't fall in love with me.'"
Oh, that's funny.
Isn't that funny?
That's very funny.
Yeah. He goes, "Right." And and he said, "At one point you tutted us," which is funny to have your doctor. He goes, "You went tut, don't fall in love with me."
fall in love
And he said it was just odd because I've never had that happen before. And he goes, "And your eyes were closed and you were drooling while you were saying it."
Oh, that's good stuff.
I know.
right there.
I wish you recorded it.
Wow.
I know. And then he was like, "Oh, it was really funny." I was like, "I haven't felt that good in years."
And I was sedated.
I was completely
They gave me
sedated.
the stuff that
Yeah.
killed Michael Jackson
Right,
and
yeah.
made me hilarious.
I'm still doing hacky gay
That's
jokes.
funny though. Don't fall in love
Yeah.
with me, boy.
Don't fall in love with me, fellows. I was like, don't fall in love with me. Because apparently, like, they have to flay open your balls. They do get in there. Like,
Ooh.
yeah, they get in there. And
Yeah.
so he's
Yikes.
down there. And so anyway, so I liked that. But by the way, anybody, if you have questions for the Patreon, I feel like my wife is here, and I feel like I may have had her on the hook, because what I wanted to do is I wanted to have her on the Patreon for 5 minutes, and I wasn't going to ask her anything that would get her in trouble and whatever. I mean, my wife's not uptight at all. Matter of fact, she loves that show Big Mouth, and she's not a prude.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a filthy show.
It is a filthy show, but it's really funny. If you guys aren't watching Big Mouth, watch it. It's a good time. And but I was going to have her on the show, and I was just going to ask her. Really, it was going to be all about me, and I was going to be, "What do you like about me?" But it wasn't going to be anything like, I wasn't going to be like, "Do you like it when I, whatever." I was just going to be like friendly and nice. And I thought that people that enjoy the Patreon might like to hear the mellifluous tones of her speaking voice, and I was going to be way more respectful than you would even probably give me credit for. But I feel like Adam kind of queered it, but that's all right. I don't know. You
All right,
it's okay.
I disagree, but okay.
What did you? Okay. Well, I don't. But what I was going to say, and we can. I'm going to pivot.
Let's not fight.
I'm not going to fight. It's
We're
okay.
not going to fight.
I'm going to pivot. I'm just
Okay.
going to say I've known this for a long time,
Mhm.
but if I have an idea to do something,
Mhm.
my wife, generally speaking, won't do it, and if she feels like she won't do it a little bit. But if a friend of ours or somebody else says, "Well, I should do it," she'll do it. Like, we are all going, we're going snow tubing, not this Sunday, but next Sunday. And if I 100% believe that if I had the idea and said, "You know what, let's load up the kids and let's go to the Poconos and go snow tubing," she wouldn't go for it. She might go, not because she sucks or anything. It's just because it was my idea.
Oh boy. Okay.
You know what I mean? And it's
All right.
and I don't think it's like an aggressive. I don't think it's like her being nasty, and I don't even really have an issue with it necessarily. I think it's just kind of like she would sort of like discount it. And
Okay.
which there are probably things that she would suggest that I would discount, by virtue of her
Yeah.
having the idea. So I don't really take umbrage at this whole thing, but it does make me laugh because we had a friend of ours, say to us, like my wife announced, she was like, I think I'm going to go snowboard. We're all going to go snow tubing. And I was like, really? Because that sounds like fun to me. I hate skiing, but
Yeah, tubing. You just
I'll
fucking
go on a tube.
jump on. You don't have to balance. It's fun.
Growing up in Baltimore, when it snowed, there was a hill right by my house, and we used to go and grab old Christmas trees and make a big bonfire in the park, and we would go tubing. It was like the most fun thing.
Oh yeah, that's a good time.
It was a good time.
Good time.
And then as I got older, that retarded guy who remember I told you his wife, like I fooled around with his wife who is also a little retarded, and he would buy us California coolers, and he had a paper route, and he would, once I got to be older.
This is ringing a bell.
Yeah, see, it rings a bell.
Oh
but when I got to be like 12 or 13 or 14, we would all drink like blackberry brandy and start to get fucked up. And then when we were 15, we'd smoke PCP. And
did you really?
Oh yeah.
Holy shit! I've never done PCP. I've heard it's crazy.
In Baltimore, they called it Love Boat.
Sure, they call I know they call it like a dipper if they dip they'll dip a cigarette in it, and then you smoke the cigarette.
You call it, you get it wet.
Right, you get it wet,
Yeah.
baby.
Yep. But I never smoke cigarettes because I'm a health nut.
Right. I just go straight for the angel dust.
I would do
Well, that stuff is just crazy because a lot of times if you overshoot the mark, that's like when it gets really. When you see people like eating somebody's lung or something.
Yeah, but I feel like that may be fake news because I
think?
have been around people that have ripped bong hits of PCP and they get really fucked up, but they don't like jump out of a window like some after school special, but you definitely get super fucked up.
I just from all of the I think it was actually an episode of Drugs Inc. where because I think DC is like the city for they're all about that dust.
Yeah, Mid-Atlantic.
Okay.
And it's weird when you buy it, you don't buy a bag of it, you would buy it was like a can.
It's liquid form, isn't it?
Well, no, you would always what you would buy in Baltimore at least, you would buy really shitty weed that had PCP on.
Okay, sure.
So and it was more expensive. So
just a delivery system.
Yeah,
for the...
but for some reason it was always in a baggie like pot, but they called it a can. I don't know why. But so you would go. So you would
call that regional stuff.
Yeah,
we call it a can. Like remember they called the milkshake a cabinet.
Yeah, exactly.
And we looked up. I don't remember.
And a milkshake is a frap. Yes. Just a mile away, it's a frap. Yes. And you're like, can I get a cabinet? They're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. They gave me a bag of PCP.
Yeah, right.
Trying to order a fucking butterscotch milkshake.
Right. Can I get a Mickey Doo, please? They just give you a big needle full of heroin.
Right.
No, I thought this was a coffee. That's a cabinet. What are you, an idiot?
What the fuck? You got to know where you're traveling.
Can we call these milkshakes? Damn you all to hell. So anyway, we're going tubing, but it was not my idea. And I told my wife, I said, if this is my idea, we would never be going tubing.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm not. I didn't say it in an angry way. I just thought it was a funny thing,
Yeah, I've even shorter term. I've had relationships like that where it's like, you would. There's no way you would if this was my idea, and maybe vice versa. Like,
yeah, exactly. There are things out there that
people have dynamics like that,
right? Mm-hmm. So we are going, but again, so she's not going to be on the show. But the Patreon, we have some good stuff for you guys. So it's going to be an extra. We are, in the truest sense of the word, for the Patreon, we are going to go behind the beaded curtain.
Oh wow, okay.
And we're gonna.
I don't even know what's going to happen.
Well, let's get really dirty on the Patreon this week.
Do it.
Let's just really And if you're not on the Patreon, by the way, and I'm only going to say this once because I'm not. It's not like. I'm not going to beg, but you get a great deal on all the merch, which is really funny bullshit, I think, anyway. And then you also have all of the extra. There's hours and hours of bullshit.
I think we're at like 125 hours or something.
Okay, great. So, and you can download all that stuff, right?
Yeah, and you can and like half of it's video because we started doing video like maybe a year ago. So half it's video and audio, and the other half is just audio.
There's a soundtrack to the musical that I was in. There's all the porn stuff that we
ringtones,
Mystery Science Theater. Just join for what you could do? You could join for $20, immediately cancel, and just put all that shit.
Get all this stuff.
Put all this shit on the cloud.
There was a guy that I want to say a month ago he joined for $69.
Oh!
And I think 69 cents. So it was like it was a little
great.
little.
Do we know his name?
I don't. I can look it up.
All
I
right.
don't know.
Well, listen, whoever you are, thank you very much. That's a great idea to do
Yeah.
stuff like that.
He
So
just bumped it up to that for a month.
I
But, you know,
appreciate that.
little
It's
shout out,
really
yeah.
nice of you because
69.
it all goes to pay Adam and it's my secret. I wish it was my secret strip club money, but strip clubs aren't really open
Yeah, man.
anymore.
We got
Although
to get the strippers vaccinated.
uh, they're essential workers.
Yes.
Well, I tell you, I am. There are so many industries that, especially in New York, that are. I don't know what's going to happen. Because they've been closed for so long. But I will say this.
Right.
I don't want to. Someone who I am good friends with. If you're going to open a bar in New York, if you want, like right now, it's never going to be cheaper.
Ooh,
To
yeah,
get
lock in a lease.
lock
maybe.
in a lease, man. If you or those of you, if you can hear my voice, if you're gonna move to New York, do it now because rents right now they're already starting to come up a little bit, I think. But right now you can buy. I know somebody who just and for those of you who don't live in New York, it's like who gives a shit, but. I know somebody who got a beautiful, but not like, beautiful, but one bedroom in the East Village, not a doorman building, but elevator building and blah, blah, $1,400 a month.
Get out of here.
And they're everywhere.
Well,
right
now I'm actually angry.
Well, you could move, but you like Queens. You don't hate it.
No, I don't. No, I do kind of like, but that's actually the funny thing though is I think prices have come down in the city, but in the boroughs I don't know that they have because I looked around and I'm like I find Manhattan apartments for a lot cheaper than mine.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's
I feel like people that live in Queens, maybe number one, I think you get more space just by default, and I think also people have family and shit. There's more of like there's people need to be there for because they need to get to whatever need to get their PCP. I don't know.
right.
But I wanted
you
to
don't want to commute.
I don't know, go into town for
Going
that.
to town for your PCP.
Right, exactly. I wanted to, but okay. So here's what I wanted to talk to you about, and this is I have such a weird opinion. Well, I want to bring this up, but I don't know how a good way to engage it without sounding okay. I'm just going to put it out.
Just rip the Band-Aid off.
Here we go. Do you know that show on Netflix? Jocelyn's watching it now. Bridgeton.
No.
Bridgeton.
I don't think
Look
I
it
do.
up because I think I'm fucking up the name.
Okay.
But Bridgerton.
That sounds right. Okay.
Yeah. Brigerton.
I'm writing all this. I'm gonna put
Bridgerton. Salem's Lot.
Looks like. Go
ahead.
Bridgerton.
Okay. It's a big show, and it's kind of like it is. Well, not kind of like it's exactly like a period piece.
Okay.
That takes place in the Regency era. Of England, which is like 1830 something, blah blah blah, and we Americans, we love watching people in in clothes with lots of buttons on it, walk around and talk about how they're it's St. Swithin's Day.
For sure, sure.
And I did watch Downton Abbey because I think Downton Abbey was like a parody of those shows. And as a matter of fact, on Downton Abbey, there was a storyline where there was like a one of the and everyone it never rained in Downton Abbey. It was always a beautiful day, and but there was like the girls were really really hot, which is like trust me, no disrespect to any English listeners, but like you guys,
you weren't buying it.
Well, here's the thing: if you put 50 English girls, unless you cherry pick them, or you were on PCP. If you put 50 English girls in a room, unless they're from, now I'm going to start doing caveats because I don't want to lose any listeners.
Right.
Ted, relax. But what I mean is like I think American girls are generally more attractive than English women. Whatever. Sorry, but I'm just saying in terms of like overall, there's a But this show, all the girls are knockout. Guys, I'd fuck there's nobody on the show I wouldn't fuck. And there's a great storyline where, like, I think one of the girls who is I don't know. She's a viscount or who fucking knows. And
By the way, Ted says, I agree, don't panic.
okay, hey
so
Ted,
you
what's
know.
up, buddy? Okay, oh, it's so great. Now, see, I feel
Look at
connected.
that.
I feel connected.
Ted signed off on that one.
Yeah, right. I'm like, all right, those fucking Manchester skanks.
Fucking
There,
snaggletooth.
Snaggletooth. Hello, I'm from Bristol. I am. Fancy a snog, governor. But my cunny is full of horse shit. It is. Hello. But Ted, you come over here. I'm taking you to a nice big lunch. Anyway, so the what I'm trying to say is there was a storyline where this really pretty girl on Downton Abbey, like there was a jazz player and a jazz. This is when jazz was coming in, you know, and there's this black jazz band, and she was having an affair with, I don't know if they fucked or not, but they were having an affair. She was having an affair with the black guy who was the, and it was really funny because she was like, I know that we can never be seen together, but I love your devil music. Your music enchants me. And it was really funny because then they would cut to like them playing jazz, and it was like, nobody under the apple tree but me, but me. I'm like, wow, you guys are really, this is, yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom,
Well, I
boom,
just
boom,
loved. I mean, I loved that. I loved the Downton Abbey movie. I didn't see the show, but I saw the movie.
Oh.
But I loved. I love how they'll like the courtship, and they'll say like, "Would you like to come take some air with me?"
Right.
Like, and then that would be like super controversial. Like, oh,
Right.
they went on a walk
Yes.
together.
Well, you know who I saw on a constitutional? I saw Lord Flesywit and Lady Bombomond, and they were on the paved road, if you get my meaning.
Right.
Yeah, and then but so Downton Abbey was great, but now this show Bridgerton, right? So you know, Jocelyn, we're always looking for something to watch, you know, because you know, and now that we watch, we burn through Big Mouth, and like Jocelyn does. This is a very Jocelyn heavy show,
Yeah,
but
wow.
Jocelyn, there's not a whole lot of shows that I like that Jocelyn likes too, because she doesn't like she will never watch The Nick. She loved The Sopranos. But I don't even know. That was a while ago. It was almost 20 years ago. So I don't even know if Jocelyn would now like. She'd like The Sopranos. But anyway, to find something the two of us can both sit there and like watch, and also with my vision, no subtitles. So there's a couple of like, and you know what they're doing now in a lot of shows, which annoys the shit out of me. Like I'm watching A Teacher on Hulu. You watch that show?
No, I never heard of
well, it's
a teacher.
It's about a beautiful teacher who comes to town, and there's a boy, and they end up
like
fucking.
this.
They
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
the vulva. Yeah, but it's. I mean, it's so ridiculous, and but it was like it was on FX, you know, and but they do a whole lot of stuff where like half of the screen will be them texting each other.
Yeah.
And by the way,
yeah.
she's a fucking idiot because she's like taking pictures of her snatch and sending them to her, and she's out for
Send him to a sophomore.
yeah, she's at like you know what I want to see? You know, it'd be a great show. Would be A Teacher, and he's like 9, right?
Well, wasn't that like wasn't Mary Kay Letourneau? Wasn't he like? Damn, wasn't he like like a tween almost?
I think he went through puberty though. I think he could ejaculate. Or
Okay,
be great.
as long as you
or
can ejaculate.
I know I have all these great parody ideas that'll never go anywhere. Wouldn't it be great? A nanny, a nanny, and she falls in love with a 9-month-old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
right.
that's
She's
fucking
just,
weird.
she's like changing his diaper, and she starts eating the baby's asshole and playing with her pussy. She's like, oh, we shouldn't be doing this. No, baby's like, gaga goo goo. She's like playing with his nipples while she's eating the baby's asshole.
Oh my!
She's like, why don't you get? And then she's angry with the baby. She's like, why don't you get hard for me?
Oh,
Why don't you get hard for me? The baby's just like sucking its thumb and like looking away. You know, be so great. She's like, I want you to meet my friends. They go out to like a dumb like cocktail bar, and she like wheels the baby up, and the baby's just sitting there, and she's like, so you know, Bobby and I went to the movies, and she's like, right.
oh
Anyway.
my God!
Yeah.
I bet there's some sort of weird affliction like that where there's someone that's so crazy that they don't see like age; they just see like a being.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
they don't, because I know people do that with I mean nothing that extreme, but
Well, I know there's like definitely
a baby,
a nanny.
Oh God!
She wanted to have love during nap time. Anyway, but she doesn't want to watch a teacher. So we found this. Well, there are people that are like they have that baby fetish. Watch like TLC or whatever, and you watch like there's some guy who like is an IT guy and he comes home and he changes into a diaper. And
Oh
he
yeah,
sits,
infantilized.
yeah, and he sits around.
people.
Well, even more, and he has like a. I remember they have like a custom made high chair. That guy should just
Oh, yeah.
fucking. They should just have a thing where they just throw that guy in a wood chipper.
I
It's like,
think
you know
so,
what,
I
dude?
think
Come
so.
on, man.
I think so.
Yeah, that big right. Gaga goo goo.
Yeah, that's
And his
fucking
girlfriend.
bizarre.
And his girlfriend's like some really unattractive English girl. So now I can't stop it. Hello.
What do you think? How do you suppose people? I don't know, like the furries and the people into the infant. How do you suppose that starts? Like, is that just a thing that you?
Dude.
I always wondered. Like,
Well, here's the thing. Internet's been around for. Here's a great thing about the internet. It's been around for that kind of shit for 30 years. People were on like CompuServe and Prodigy back in like 1990, not 1988. Like when you had a 9600 baud modem and you had to send an email like a fucking falcon in the air, and it would come back to you 2 weeks later. Like the first one was like, "I dress up like a baby." Send.
Right.
And then it would go to some Usenet group, and then some slag from Yorkshire would read it. Oh, me boyfriend's got a rattle fetish. So like it would come back. So those people people can't find a nice girl or a nice guy to date or whatever. I know really pretty girls with great jobs that can't find a nice guy.
Yeah.
But guys that only want to be dressed up like a baby, they get girlfriends.
Very niche.
Yeah,
I had a friend.
Go ahead.
His mother was a hospice nurse.
Oh boy.
And she had to take care of a man. It was a gay couple.
Okay.
And they were
Wow.
like furries. Like they were like I don't know if that would be considered a furry, but they like wanted to be animals.
Yeah, I think so.
And this man sawed off his own leg at the knee.
Let's talk about
And she had to like take care of take care of him.
Why did he do
after
that?
he like I don't because to be like a like a little doggy. Is that the craziest thing you've ever heard in your life?
What,
I
you
probably
really-
wasn't supposed to talk about this, but whatever. It's been a long time.
You really
But
buried the lead with that one.
Is that fucking? Well, I just thought of it talking
hold
about
on.
this
Number
now.
one. Okay. Whoa. Hold on. I
Yeah,
need a
and
minute,
I want to say
man.
the guy. I don't know if he died specifically of that, or if it was like peripherally that or whatever. But I know the guy died.
Okay. Number one. Does that fall under cosmetic surgery? Like if you go to a doctor, I'm not even kidding. Can you go to a plastic
Elective
surgeon?
amputation.
Yeah, elective amputation.
I
Is that a
don't-
thing? Can you say like, listen, I identify as a little doggy?
Little doggy,
You
cute
come in-
little
Can
terrier.
you imagine like you're in a waiting room and there's some gay guy with a leash with his boyfriend who's like scratching his leg with his. Hi, you're like I'm just here to. I feel like I've got man boobs. Yeah, I want to get my boyfriend's legs cut off because he thinks he's a terrier.
Well, that was the crazy thing is I guess the guy
Oh.
somehow did it himself, like he got some kind of bootleg anesthesia.
Bootleg.
Wasn't even go for the pun there, but that's rich. But he got some sort of
I just got
fucking
lightheaded.
whatever to I don't know. I guess numb. Well, I mean, because people give themselves like that was a big thing. People were dying from like giving themselves injections and stuff, like injecting like rubber to get like a fake
All right,
butt.
so hold on. Let's dial back for a minute.
Okay.
So your buddy, his mom, her job was to go to people's homes and tend to their wounds or bed sores or flip them or right.
Yeah.
That was her job, right? But one of her clients, okay, was this an insurance client? I wonder, like.
Man, I wish I had more facts. This was so long ago. But yeah.
We can work with this. It's fine. But then, but the post self-inflicted amputation, they hired her through some agency or whatever to come and treat the abscess or the wound.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was specifically like she was hired for that or because I think the guy may have been dying already or something. Like.
Okay.
I know she worked with people that were like terminally ill.
Okay. So his dying wish.
I mean, that's
femoral artery there. I think that's up in your thigh, but you can bleed out for sure.
Oh, 100%.
Boy,
100%.
boy,
I'm
oh
sure he
boy.
almost died. I'm surprised that he lived through it.
Can you imagine? He's like, Tony, get towels.
But I guess like their house was set up. It was crazy elaborate, like kennels and all kinds of weird. I don't know if it's if it's dogs specifically or animals or more broadly, but fucking insanity.
Here's the thing about that too. Like, and I know you have, and we don't have to get into specifics, but have you ever done something during sex that is so like out of your realm, or you're engaging it where you're like, I can't believe I'm doing this, can't believe I'm doing this, and
Yeah.
then the minute you come, you're like,
Oh, 100%.
what the fuck was that all about?
100%.
Right. So you, even if you're deep into, let's just call it canine play, right? Even if that's
Hit with
your,
a box cutter.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like once you come, you're like, I got a chew toy up my ass. Like, we're eating dinner out of a bowl. Like, I feel ridiculous. Like, is there like a brief moment of clarity, or are you just in this life so much?
Dude, I'm not. I don't have a good answer for that.
Yeah.
I think yes, like you said, we've all had those moments where shit gets away from you, and maybe you
Right.
do something a little out of character. But I mean, that's a real commitment.
Wow, I did not
That's
hear. I
like
didn't
that's
see that.
maybe the most commitment I've ever heard of.
I have heard of people removing their own limbs, and I guess
Mm-hmm.
in a weird way, it makes sense. At the very least, you're doing it to be a dog.
Yeah, sure. But
But
it's not just like I like
wow.
fucking cutting stuff off. Anyways, I feel like I derailed your story about Bridgerton.
I'll get there. Don't worry.
Okay.
It's right there.
like
I've-
I
Don't worry. Don't worry. Not so great now.
okay.
I don't know what I was worried about. I've never liked that foot. Right. What have you been up to, Mike? Funny story. Remember that arm I have? I don't have it anymore. I just chopped it fucker right off. Well, but again, you could make the argument, and I'll segue into my Bridgerton thing, but you could make the argument that if you believe that you are a dog and you identify as a dog, then presumably, I mean, I'm not going to make the obvious correlation and say I'm not going to say trans, I don't know. You think I don't know. I don't know.
Ooh,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, where does that kind of line drawn? Because now we're more accepting of transgender folks, but
Yeah.
is
oh
it?
boy.
Well, I will say the one thing that we won't accept that we've drawn pretty defined line in is race. Like you can't be like Rachel Dolezal and identify as a different race. I feel like we don't stand for that.
All right. So now Bridgerton. Okay.
Okay.
So we maybe a week and a half, and now my wife is watching the show. Like she doesn't watch it with me. Not that I'm like I'm not watching that fucking show. We started to watch it, and I was like, I can't sign on for this.
You couldn't get into Bridgerton.
Well, number one, being of Irish American,
Oh,
I really
yeah.
it gets me Irish
Oh.
up to watch the Pirate Twitty. But I really don't like I won't watch that show, The Crown. Like I just don't give a fuck. And I found a great show. I will get to Bridgerton. I'm sorry, but I found a great show by accident on IMDb, which is something I have on the fucking Amazon Fire thing, which I didn't even know I have. And it's called Beyond Braveheart. And it basically, because remember the movie Braveheart
Sure.
and the guy that the first United King of Scotland.
Yeah.
He was the one that like betrayed William Wallace, who apparently was not a good guy. But Mel Gibson's not a good guy, so it's all kind of
Sure.
all makes sense.
Right.
But apparently, Robert Bruce. There you go. It's all this story. So I'm like, for some reason, I've been I watched that show, and I don't even know. I pull up my chair very close to the TV, and at like 1 a.m, I'll watch it. It never ends. That show's I don't know how long it is, but I'll watch it. There'll be a Liberty Mutual commercial that pops on, and then it goes on, and it's like. It's always some English guy like standing in front of a ruined castle in a Barber jacket, who's like, in the fall of 1319, Robert Bruce's army was in Ulster. I'm like, oh, let me watch this. So I like that history, but the whole like European nobility thing, and certainly English nobility, something about it rankles me. I mean, so and I hate that Americans we're so like. We have as they used to say, we have our nose wide open for it. Like I remember being like, when Princess Diane, when she is it Diana, when
Yeah.
Princess Diana was Charles, when they got married. I remember my mother dragging we watched TV. It was at like 6 a.m. or so. My mom watching. I think the whole country watched it. I mean, I know my wife watched it, but her mom was English, so that makes sense.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
fine. But like, I don't understand how anyway, whatever. So we start watching this Bridgerton show, and again, in order for me to really watch TV and really be able to see almost everything that's going on, I have to be really, really close to it, which it makes it hard for other people to watch TV.
Sure.
Like I watch TV like Brundlefly
Yeah.
eats dinner. I have to vomit on donuts, and so it's like I have to, I get in my little show and I get my little seat and I put a pillow down and I watch TV. But if I sit on the closest couch to the TV and my wife puts her feet on my legs, and I can sort of see 60% of what's going on. So we're watching, and it opens up, and it's some voiceover, and it's like, it's 1835 in the town of Bridgerton, and, Mrs. Bluebellbin and her 17 daughters, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And I'm watching it, and then it's the day that they're announcing that they're going to, it's like they're coming out to the queen, right? I guess the queen, they're some sort of minor royalty, and they announce who they are to the queen. Okay, all right, fine. So it's 1835, and it's in England in the Regency era, right? So I'm about 6 minutes in, and they come in, and they're announcing to the queen, and they go, "Hey, this is the queen, blah blah blah," and I turn to my wife, and I'm like, "Is the queen black?" And my wife goes, "Yeah," and I said, "Oh," and then I didn't punch out because of that. I just punched out. I was like, you know what? I don't have I can't do this. But so this show, which is very popular, okay, there are black people all through the show. Like they are lords and ladies and blah, 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 which is, okay, now this is where it gets delicate because, number one, I am very much, and I'm not even like being politically, I'm not being politically correct when I say this. I think it's terrific that TV and film is getting more diverse. As a matter of fact, I notice now when I watch commercials for shit.
Oh, 100%.
There are mixed couples and blah, 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 whatever the fuck. I think it's all terrific. Okay? I really do. I'm not kidding. But it has to make sense.
100%. 100%.
So when you're and what I'm saying is when you're watching a show, because I did some like I got into this. Slavery in England was not outlawed until 1830.
Right.
So
there's no way.
And number one, there's never been now in 2019 or whatever. Prince Harry brought home a girl with a sunburn, and it was a big fucking story with
Yes.
Queen Elizabeth.
Yes, fucking Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle.
She's like an eighth.
Who's an
something.
Right. She's a quadroon.
Right.
And you bringing who home into this parliament?
Yeah, that was a big deal.
It was a big deal, and it made like news. And people like on talk shows were like, "Well, her great grandfather was half black, and I don't know if that's going to fly with the queen." So here we are now, 190 years ago.
He basically brought home a brunette.
Yeah, he brought him a brunette, right?
And they had to like move.
Right, who tans well. And
They
now
had to move
they're
the
doing
United
a reality show with Selling Sunset.
Right.
Like they got fucking booted out of So anyway, so what I'm saying is like I am, and by the way, there's one of these guys in the show is this beautiful mixed race guy, and he is black. There are black people all through this thing. There are no Asians. There are no blah, blah, blah. But my point is only that I think it's wonderful, but they didn't have to set the show in England. It takes me out of it. And does that mean I'm a racist? I don't know. But I don't really know. But like, and again, you can't do this necessarily because it's too soon for this, but like, imagine, and I know this is going to sound like a very hackneyed argument or certainly a very broad argument, but imagine if we remade Roots and everyone looked like a young Richie Cunningham. What's that guy's name? He's a movie
Oh,
director.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, movie director Richie Cunningham.
Just
Ron
give me
Howard.
Ron Howard. There
They
you
all
go.
look like Ron Howard.
Yes.
My name is Ron Howard.
Yeah. Opie.
Call me Opie.
Yeah.
That's Kunta Kenta. Call me
Right.
Opie.
Okay.
Ow! Whipping him. Enough.
Yeah.
So anyway, my point is, and again, you can't. So why didn't they just take this stupid show and just make it and call it like Fantasy World? Because then
Sure.
everyone can enjoy it. But the problem is they now make this fucking show, and everyone's got to. It's like the Emperor wears no clothes. We all just kind of be like,
Yeah, you got to suspend disbelief now.
yeah, it's kind
Yeah.
of exhausting.
Okay.
Because it's weird. You're watching this thing and you're like, what?
Well, it's because and it's annoying because you're going out of your. You know when they cast it, they went out of their way.
Oh,
We have to be inclusive. But it's
yeah.
like, well, there was actually a great movie about
Go ahead.
there was like a Duchess or something that was like half black or something. It was a real historical thing,
Right.
And like how they dealt with that, and that's actually very interesting. So it's like,
Yes.
you can be inclusive, but like
Tell that story.
tell the actual real story. Don't just go like, well, we want to be inclusive to like check the box
And I can promise you this: the showrunner, show creators, producers, whatever it is, if you brought this up to them, they would look you right in the eye. They would wink at some point because they'd be like, "Ha." They would go, "How dare you?
Oh,
How
sure.
dare you?"
I mean,
I don't
yeah.
see, sir. They would like
Right.
dot their mouth.
I
Their-
said good day.
yes. They're
Slap
like,
me with a glove.
yeah. They have like a bowl of like some sort of pea.
Yes. Topic about the castle.
I didn't even realize that the queen was black in this show. I just saw her talent.
Right, sure.
How dare you?
That would
sir.
really be the ultimate. Would be, oh, I didn't even know. Well, I don't
did-
even think about
we don't-
recast and
Yes.
yeah, it's like of
we
course you
simply-
you went
right.
way out of your way
We cast
to do that because
we
that's
cast the best actress we could find.
right.
Granted, we only auditioned black actors. So anyway, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it takes
because-
you out. It bumps you because I think that's the thing when you. Of course I'm all about inclusion. Whatever. I mean that's like a thing. My girlfriend and I we joke about when we watch TV. I'm like, wait a minute, there was no fucking interracial couple in that Geico commercial. We're writing a letter,
Right.
Because it's like they go so out of their way,
Yeah.
and it's not just to be like, oh, let's put people of color. It's you got to have mixed. It's everything's got to be mixed, and the kids got to be mixed, and you know what I mean, or whatever. But if you're gonna do don't do a period thing. If you're tethered to that.
And by
you
the
know?
way, I could, if I had any sort of platform, I mean, I guess this is a platform, but I could probably get in huge trouble.
I think we should diversify the Brian McCarthy. I think we should.
Black people won't come anywhere near this show. My friend Jay, I have a Jay.
Desmond. He's
Yeah.
probably in the chat.
Yeah, he's probably right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He,
The closest we get is in the chat room.
and your fingers if I smell them.
Oh, just more than my fingers.
Yeah,
Come
exactly. Right. Liberty, liberty, liberty. Right. It's an insurance commercial here in America.
on. Here in America.
Here in America.
They were like this broad international
Do they have insurance in England? I don't even know.
podcast.
Right. Oh, you rear-ended me. No problem, old chap.
Yeah.
Here's 20 shillings.
I think they duel.
Yeah. Right.
If for
Meet me here. Pistols at dawn for
Yes.
this fender bender. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know. But again, like bringing this up is problematic already because they're daring you
Yeah.
to do it. I mean, and also I was talking to a friend of mine because look, I am legitimately legally disabled, and boy, something happened to me yesterday, which I'm going to get into.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
yeah, boy.
and it was racial too. Look at
Give
this.
me your badge number,
Yes.
sir.
Right, sir. Exactly. I don't care if you're blind or not. You can't masturbate on the subway.
Right.
Shut up.
Totally unreasonable about
Right,
it. But
yeah.
I'm disabled.
I'm disabled.
It has nothing to do with it.
I'm disabled, so I had to grab her pussy.
Right.
I was falling over in this.
Yes, I was praising myself.
I was praising myself
Oh, God.
on a big Filipino cunt.
Right.
Anyways. So what happened was, I kind of lost my train there, but no.
Disabled.
Disabled, right.
Yeah.
So I was talking to my buddy who, and I go, there are degrees of disability. Sorry. I mean, like Brian, we all know our friend Brian.
Oh,
Brian
yeah.
he's a fucking dog, and
He's like black. He's like Blues Brothers blind.
100%. Yeah. So anyway, but I was talking to somebody else, and they were like, yeah, they said, the most underrepresented minority on the planet in every capacity are disabled people. So why not have like the
Sure.
prince, and why don't you have the prince come in some sort of 1830s wheelchair,
Right.
and made of like rickety metal and wood and I don't know what, and have him kind of wheel him in or whatever. Like put that. So I don't know. I feel like that in particular. And again, if you said like if I was on like some fucking Bill Maher or whatever it is, and I was like, you can't believe they have black people on this show, then I would get huge.
Well, that's the thing is people can't, and I've run into this a few times with not like close friends, but peripheral friends of people that you can't have a conversation because they're so fucking touchy, especially if it's like on a podcast or something. They're like so afraid of getting canceled. Like anybody fucking cares about your mixtape. But like,
ooh,
I'm a bitch.
Yeah, I like that.
Dumb
mixtape.
But yeah, you get these people that, and you're like, you got to be able to like talk about shit. I mean, I've certainly been in, and I know people that tend to over intellectualize stuff, and it's like, yeah, you can't have a fucking conversation because you're just going to be racist no matter what.
Yeah,
no matter what you say. But it's like,
and I've always maintained those people are the most racist people.
Usually,
you know what I mean? I don't know.
I mean, usually because there's a lot of like apologizing for it. It's like, oh my god, it's like it's pandering.
Yeah, the blacks are people. You're like, I'm not saying that.
Like,
I'm just
what
saying,
she means is like, okay,
yeah,
not good.
And again, to make the art, I mean, look, we've all seen, like, I mean, what's it called? White girls, where the Wayans brothers dressed up like two white women.
Yeah, right.
Could you imagine in a million? It just doesn't go that way.
It doesn't go that way because of history.
But here's the thing: that the history's not even that. Okay. By the way, Hollywood Howard was over here yesterday because
I love Hollywood Howard.
People love him. By the way,
man, that was so much fun.
He was great.
He's a great guy.
He was a lot of fun. And Dave, by the way, I want to thank you for all your nice messages and tweets and everything. We like that you enjoy this show. And Dave also does not agree with me and probably you politically, but he watches the show.
We don't all have to agree.
I
get fucking the bends from the exposure I have with all the different kinds of people. Like Monday nights I do like a fucking liberal talk radio show where they're like bleeding heart.
Number one, I don't like it when you talk about other shows on this show. No, I mean I know you go out to other shows.
Yeah, right. I just don't want to hear about it.
About it.
We're like a couple of catty gay men with like
a couple.
Don't tell them your last name.
Yeah, I don't want to hear. Look,
Only if you're out of town.
I need to go with your microphones running all over town, hither and yon.
Yeah.
No, but but Hollywood Howard. So yesterday morning, I actually went to the dog run, just because I knew that today was going to be like 11, and I was like, I gotta fucking go. And I was celebrating the fact that like my dick was more or less back to normal. My friend Matt was like, I know I forgot this whole thing, but Matt was the guy I talked to, and Matt was like, because I didn't check in with him after the vasectomy. I even forgot that I got it, and I said, hey, I finally got that vasectomy, and he goes, yeah, how'd it go? I said, I ran around 2 days later, and I kind of fucked my dick up, but it's okay now. I said it wasn't necessarily like I think I have a relatively high threshold for pain just by virtue of like my big stupid tattoos that I have and shit. Like I can take it, I guess. I'm not a big. I'm not going to sit here and whatever. So I would not say any of my vasectomy post recovery was painful. It was uncomfortable and occasionally just like, like it would, you could feel a heavy twinge, let's just say. So, but not like, you know what I mean? So Matt goes, and he goes, have you jerked off yet? And I was like, no, I haven't jerked off yet. And he goes, well, you got to jerk. Because I thought when I went in yesterday, I thought I was going to have to do that thing where you come into a boy's mouth. No, when you come into a a little give a semen deposit, right?
Sure, right.
So I brought my iPad, I brought my fuck the fucker shirt, I brought my go bag for jerking off.
Your little overnight bag.
I did. It's right over there. You can see it.
Oh, God.
And I was ready to do it.
Right.
And but I didn't have to do it. I have an appointment a month later. But Matt goes, bro, when I got home, he goes, I jerked off that same day. And let me tell you something. When you get a vasectomy, your dick, that is like, I don't know what it's like, but it's I don't know what it's like getting a fucking hip replacement and then running a marathon an hour later. Like, I was like, you jerked off it. He was like, I just wanted it, because what you want to do is, because I have another friend who had a vasectomy. I hang out with a lot of guys who can't get girls pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What kind of a crew?
Fuck
we
yeah,
call
dude.
ourselves the sugar no cream crew.
Leave your rubbers at home.
Yeah, right.
Boys.
Yep, the bareback boys.
The bareback boys.
The bareback boys.
Oh, show title.
There you go.
Right at the end, right on the wire.
End, right? So, but what Matt did was, you have to go, and you don't get like a clean bill of vasectomy until your semen has no
clean bill of cock.
Active. It can't have any active sperm in it.
You gotta clean the chamber.
Yeah. Exactly. So my doctor. So when I saw my doctor yesterday, my first deposit appointment is in, I think it's in 2 months. And he goes, I said, what should I do? And he goes, well, try to have. He goes, if you can try to ejaculate about 30 to 40 times in 2 months. He goes, that would be. He goes, that'll clear it out, because you really don't want to go back a month too later. You don't want to start doing this. I would rather like get as much out as possible.
Yeah.
So
holy shit, I've never. Have you ever been faced with such a challenge?
It's not that bad.
No, I know. I'm just saying,
already,
like it's like,
dude, if you go one a day, I mean,
Yeah.
a challenge. I could have hit that number in 3 weeks.
I
when
feel like
was
I should start
16.
playing some inspirational music.
Right.
Dun, 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 dun.
Eye of the tiger.
Dun,
Right.
dun, dun.
Yeah. If you believe in love, that's around.
This is a montage
yeah.
of you just
You jerking off.
training.
Well,
for some reason, running while I'm on a bike. I don't know why.
Running. There's an iPad on a stick in front of me, jerking off the babysitter porn.
Yes.
No, I have. So I jerked off the day, and I was so nervous because I could still feel the stitches on my balls. I just stayed very far away from my balls, and I jerked off the night before, and then I haven't jerked off yet today. But I've been hitting some. So far, I've gone at least
putting up
once
some
a
numbers.
day. I'm putting up some numbers.
Nice.
Right now, I would say since I heard that on Thursday, Friday. I'm good for 4 already.
They said 30 to 40 in 2 months.
Yeah, I can.
Well, that's no problem.
No problem. For
No
me.
problem.
It's fine as long if I just go.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't feel like doing it last night, and I was like, all right, just do it. Plus, I just didn't feel like doing it, but I ended up. But it's kind of fun because it's like I'm like the doctor told me to.
I think that's fun. Yeah, I like the idea of like, wow, I got to do my business.
Yeah, actually, I don't get it. Anyway,
fun.
so yeah, so I'm but
Right.
because my other friend, like, I don't know what he was up to, but he got a vasectomy, and he told me for a year he had to keep going back, and
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, you got to get
you still had a little.
They give you like a little like plaque, like no, like
I am sterile.
I'm a sterile boy. Sterile boy. They give a plaque and like a $12
amazing.
Applebee's gift card.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So anyway,
That's great.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess we should. What time is
let's
it?
do a run down
Let's
the
do
horn.
a run down the horn, everybody.
We are at that time. Hello to Joe. Hello to Ted.
Hi, Joe. Hi,
Ted
Ted.
says, "Hey gals." Jimmy says, "Ladies only."
That's
I like
right.
this kind of humor.
Uh-huh.
Looks like Brian dressed up like a superhero.
Oh yeah, no, it's a Darth Vader onesie.
Hello, Yao. Joao.
Yeah, that's
Would love to know how that is pronounced phonetically. It's got the little
I think
thingy over the A.
It must be Brazilian. Ow.
Yeah, it sounds like Portuguese. I
Yes.
feel like maybe they've
I'd love to go to Brazil.
right? Wouldn't that be great?
Oh man.
Hello, Hello, Ted, Steve, Desmond.
Oh, hey, Des.
Des says your daughter can hear you. She told him.
Oh,
I think he's just joking.
no,
though,
he's
right?
no, he's not joking.
Oh,
but
really?
Yeah,
Ooh.
he's kind of cunty.
Ooh, you
He knows it.
bitch. Hello to Ron. Hello to Joe.
Hi, Joe. Hi, Ron. Any Hudson action or no? No?
Yeah, we're coming up on.
Okay, good. Yeah, baby. Hello,
Okay.
sweetheart.
Jimmy, Ted. Hello to Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Um,
Oh,
let's
God.
see. Ted said. I think it was Ted that said. Anyone think Adam is kind of like Astro Boy, but
Yeah.
without the butt guns? That's a funny. I'm not familiar with Astro Boy, but that's a funny comment.
Sasha Knopf gave me a bunch of Astro Boy stuff.
Is that right?
100 years ago, yeah.
Wow.
Like a hat and T-shirts and stuff. Yeah, it's a little anime boy, and he does
Yeah.
have little butt guns.
Yeah, he has
You
little butt
could
guns.
You would be a great. You
And
gotta lose
then-
a little weight now. You look like a little
Yeah,
chubby.
I'm getting.
You're a-
I'm heavier than I've ever been.
Yeah, you're a chubby Astro Boy right
I
now.
know. Ooh,
You-
I'm a chubby little Astro
Chubby
Boy.
little Astro Boy. You have your own orbit.
I'm a bad little Astro Boy. Wow, this guy.
ASSTRO.
Ooh, yes.
Uh-huh.
No, it's literally to the point where I'm like, I gotta fucking been going to the gym and like trying to.
Right.
'Cause I'm like, my fucking clothes don't. I mean, I either it's like a fork in the road, but I'm like, either gotta get different clothes. Not gonna do that.
Don't do that.
No, I'm not gonna. I feel like it's people fall into that. But no.
I'm a 36, and it's
Mhm.
not. It is. We're holding the line at
Yeah,
36.
right, yeah.
But I have a 38 pair of jeans, and I won't do it.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not. I'm like, I gotta be more disciplined than that.
If you do it, you're done.
Yeah, it's
You'll
like
just settle into it.
right, exactly.
No, I have not. It's an ongoing thing.
Cynthia,
Uh-oh.
your friend Cynthia,
My friend.
isn't that the gal that's like, your friend's wife in New Jersey?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. She'll come on the show as soon as the whole
Yes.
thing is over. Yeah, she's great.
Yes.
She's a real sweet, really sweet girl.
Let's see what other. Ted says check out Fleabag on Netflix. I haven't seen Fleabag.
I know Fleabag. It's a good show. It's two English women. It's a comedy.
Oh, okay.
I would like
okay.
that. There's no royalty
Mhm.
in that. I liked Absolutely Fabulous.
Yeah.
Or AbFab, as we called it.
Fab.
I was in a Yahoo group. We all loved AbFab. Yeah, Yahoo AbFab group.
Hello, Jessica.
Hi,
Hello
Jessica.
To, Bruce was watching, or he is watching. Hello, Bruce.
Hi, buddy. Hi, Brucey.
Bridget.
Bridget.
Somebody said I should use. I should use your squatty potty to put my legs on. I thought that was funny.
We
I
have
don't
two. We have
remember.
two. We have one here, and
Yeah.
then we have one
Because
in
my
the.
danglers.
Yeah, because you're.
And you gave Sasha the butt gun. That's what Steve
Ooh.
says.
Hey, all
Hey,
right.
what is
that was
that?
good.
Hey,
He
this
means
guy's
anal
all right.
He means anal sex.
The butt gun. I get it.
Oh, boy.
Brian, you need to call me. Jessica says, Brian, you need to call me every Friday right before you go live.
Okay, baby.
I think that done and done, right? Like you would do that.
I don't have her number, but I will. I'll text
DM
her.
your phone number.
I'll DM. No, don't DM me your phone number, Jessica.
Oh, well,
She'll regret that. Although I'm not drunk, I wouldn't call her. I wouldn't be.
yeah,
weird.
you wouldn't abuse it. Jessica has my home address.
She sure does.
I trust her with it, and she has
She never sent those brownies.
She hasn't abused it.
At this point,
She was going to send brownie.
I thought she was.
This was
Somebody
for the
was.
mug. She sent you a mug.
Oh yeah, that was a great mug. She's great.
I don't know nothing about no brownies.
Maybe
Let's
I'm wrong.
see.
Maybe it was somebody else. But anyway, whatever she sends in terms of food item, I would eat, no problem. Oh, I have to fart.
Okay. Yeah, that's about it. There's
All right, everybody.
Here, but...
All right, well, Patreon.
All right, everybody.
We're gonna come back Tuesday. You'll hear that. I don't know.
I can't wait. I want to know what you said. It's gonna get extra dirty. I'm
I
here.
don't know.
I'm here for it,
I
as
know.
the kids say.
I'm gonna go. We're gonna to have a quick break. I'm gonna go have a cappuccino. Bring it
Okay.
in.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen. Remember lipsweat.com. Where thank you, Bruce, for he made that show. Bruce actually went and lived in Florida for
Yeah,
a
I
few
heard.
weeks. Yeah, he had a great time down there.
Nice.
And yeah, I'm dying to get the fuck out of town.
Probably should have stayed. Right
yeah,
now.
I
Good
know.
God.
Well, I think Bruce is trying to figure out a way to like become a snowbird. You know what I mean?
Well, I feel like he's got the kind of job you could do that.
Yeah. Listen, everybody out there, if you don't have kids and you're not like living your life like a fucking rock star, then you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, do.
Like, you know what I mean? If I could go back, I'd never. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Like,
boy.
you imagine my daughter could hear all that? I'm like, I would
Oh, no.
never have them. No, I'm just kidding. I love my kids. I love my daughter. I love my wife. Everything's great. But you know, I always say like I had a that cousin that I don't talk to that lives down in Atlanta. He was the one. He was like, should I have children? You know, years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, listen, if you don't, then don't sit at home and fucking watch
Yeah, go
TV.
fucking live life.
Go
That's
do fun
yeah.
stuff and
Be
make
selfish.
yeah. Go make mistakes.
Don't squander it.
Right, exactly. But
Yeah.
but then they ended up having a kid and
Okay.
whatever. Which is great. It's all great. Great.
Great.
Any plans for the weekend? What do you have going on?
What am I doing? Just working. I have a bunch
Busy
of work
boy?
to do. Oh, I'm a busy boy.
Gotcha.
I'm a busy little Astro boy.
Yeah. And the whole Keanu thing that never happened, but it's fine. I don't care.
Keanu.
Remember, she called the show while we were on the. She called. She was doing MLC.
Oh.
And then she called, and then she felt badly because
Oh yeah.
I didn't know I was. She was on the phone with me.
Yeah, we did. You know.
I know. And then you took it off the show or whatever. And then she was like, "I'll do your show."
Oh,
And I was
okay. I
like,
didn't realize.
All
she
right,
said she
whatever.
would
Do the show if you want. And then I sent her a text message, and she never got back to me. And then I was yesterday. I was like, "You're off the hook," and she's like, "I forgot." I'm like, "Fine, I don't care. Who cares anyway?"
But she's got a lot going on with the OnlyFans probably now. She's
You think
putting out a lot of content.
she should go? I wonder if she's like, is she doing porn?
No.
She
It sounded pretty tame. I get so envious every time these girls talk about how much they make off of the OnlyFans. I'm like,
Yeah,
God
but
damn it.
It's like, hey, guys, remember, you're also trying to be funny too.
Yeah, that's the
like-
thing is I wouldn't do both. I think that's. But I mean, whatever. You got a pussy. People
Yeah,
want
do
to
your-
see it.
yeah, do your
I'm
thing.
not mad at you. I'm
No.
jealous. Wish I had a.
I know. I think Karen Feehan's making a fortune. I think.
I heard they're all fucking. Everybody's doing great.
Yeah. Well,
With
save your
OnlyFans.
money, ladies. Time is a vicious mistress.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Listen, we're just rambling. So thank you everybody for watching and the podcast listening. Patreon is /Brian McCarthy, and you know, it's good stuff over there. And okay, bye. We're done. Bye.